Hello, everyone. Welcome to Forum Friday. On Forum Friday, Mark and we discuss what's going on over at the forums so that you all know about it and you all can come join us. You know, there's so much problems on the production floor these days, and sometimes you're like, where do I go to ask these simple questions? At the Bakerpedia forum. And to access it, you need to be a member, and membership is free. So sign in today at bakerpedia.com/academy and join Mark and me at the forums. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Lynn. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? What's going on over there?
Oh, I'm doing great. The forum's been busy this week.
Nice.
Um, uh, we got our tongue lashing or our lashing by Hurricane Teddy a little bit here, but
Oh,
we were fortunate it fizzled out into a tropical storm, so it wasn't nearly as bad, right?
oh
But
boy.
we got some neat stuff going on in the forum, and I have a few things that I've baked up to talk about as well. One of the interesting things in the forum is we have a new member, Mike, who has posted some information that he is available as charity support, as he put it, but generally, I guess, just as support to provide his experience. He had a bakery in Singapore, which he has closed. And so he's looking to share his 27 years of knowledge and experience as he writes his autobiography. And
Oh,
so that'll be great.
love
It's great
that.
to have welcome Mike to the Bakerpedia forum, and be great having you
Welcome,
and
Mike.
sharing your wisdom.
I love
Um,
Singapore.
yeah, and then there's a couple other discussions going on. One of the members added some reference information on the discussion on SAP, which is the sodium acid pyrophosphate leavening acid and CO2 production. So she provided some reference information there. I believe it's a she, it's a Matilda. Um, and there's also another conversation. A member is looking for information on how to make their own raisin concentrate, raisin juice concentrate, and
Yeah,
how much to use as a preservative. So
yeah,
that's
that's
an interesting.
yeah.
That's,
You
and
know, it's
so
the processing, right?
yeah,
So
and so some things that I have made here to share a little bit is first, I'm still have some top taste fried onions that I'm getting to do some things with, and so something that I've come up with here that today to kind of share and show you some of my handiwork here is these are not playing cards. They are very tasty. Okay.
what
And
do you have?
these are crackers. These are laminated
Oh,
crackers
nice.
using the top taste fried onions.
Wow.
Did a nice 18-hour sponge and a lamination. And so we got a nice little bit of flake. We got a nice crisp
So
smack
how much
to it.
of these did you
Yep,
use
those
in
are the
there?
onions. Yep. And
How much?
these are
What's
really good.
the, what's your
So they
percentage
have a nice
in there,
strong but not overpowering onion flavor. And
Mark?
I added a little bit of rosemary with it. And
Yeah.
so it works easy. Just 20% of the flour weight. I just threw it into the dough at
Oh,
the end,
10%. Okay.
and it's just lovely that way. It's just wonderful, right? It's
Okay.
really great tasting.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
if you
then
need the onion samples today, just go to our sponsor showcase on Top
yep,
Taste and ask for a sample.
yes,
Thank
yeah,
you,
top
Mark.
taste, wonderful
I
people to
do have
work
how
with.
to use crispy onions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I have another one here. Something a little bit different is kombucha is all the rage these days, right? Kombucha is an Asian fermented tea that produces probiotics. That is to to colonize your gut flora and help you with better digestion and other all sorts of health benefits. It helps clean your liver and all kinds of things like that. I've become friends with a chef here who is the executive chef at the Celtic Lodge, where I once worked as pastry chef. And he makes their own strawberry kombucha that they use in house as part of their vinaigrette. and other drinks that they make at the bar and things like that. And he also sells it to some local restaurants in Sydney and so on. And so he gave me a bottle to try, and it is strong. It is very, very, very tart. It's right on the cusp of vinegar. So it's kind of interesting. So I thought, well, so it's got to be really low pH. It must be like in the 3 range. And I thought this would be a way to maybe combine with the diastatic malt from Irex and to utilize that in something different. So I went back to my classic crumpets, where it usually calls for a sourdough. And instead of using the sourdough to get that acidity to react with the baking soda, I put the kombucha into the crumpets and basically saved, took 4 hours, got 4 hours of my life back, right? Or a little bit more, right? It did not have to ferment a sourdough. So I have these lovely crumpets, and you can see I got lots of bubbles. That's because of the kombucha giving me lots of acidity and reacting with the baking soda and popping up and bubbling nicely.
Let me see the profile. Okay, that's not too bad.
They're almost like a griddle cake, but made with strong flour, and they also have yeast in it. I'm just going to cut it through so you can see on the grain. It has all these tunnels, okay? And so the idea is you toast this, and then you slather it with butter, and it all soaks into all these nice tunnels, and a little bit of marmalade or confiture on top, and it's a lovely breakfast item, right? And it's nice and golden on the bottom, kind of like a pancake in that sense. And so it, while we lose the probiotic because the bacteria is killed in the baking process, but that dead bacteria is still there, and that dead bacteria from a kombucha type fermentation becomes a prebiotic. So it still helps to populate the gut flora to help encourage good bacteria growth. So it's still a healthy breakfast item without having to drink the sour kombucha first thing in the morning. Right? So,
I don't know, the bacteria is like killed after that griddle treatment.
So yeah, I mean, it's kombucha is nice to have, like, maybe like 2-3 ounces midday, late afternoon. But it's a real sipping drink, and you don't even sip it as fast as scotch, as far as I'm concerned. So, but it's so it turned out really nice, and it has it doesn't taste like strawberry, but it has sort of it left a hint of a strawberry aroma, which I was very surprised by. I really didn't expect that much of it to be left, right? So that turned out really quite interesting. And so I used the diastatic malt in that because with the drop in
diastatic malt.
Yeah, the Irex diastatic malt, because with the drop in pH, it really slows the fermentation down otherwise. So, and there's not much in there in terms of sugar and stuff. So the diastatic malt really helps to feed the yeast to overcome this low pH environment. So you still got that fermentation to help with the gluten development and the bubbles and stuff along with the baking soda. And so the other thing that I've done with our Irex products today is they just came out of the oven before we went live. So I'm just going to stand up and grab those loaves, and I'm going to be right back because they're behind me here on a cooling rack.
All right. Well, Mark is getting his product to show. I want to do a free shout out to MGP Ingredients. They are sponsoring our next class on high protein baking. So if you haven't signed up, please do so today, because it's such a hot topic. We have over 100 people sign up already.
That's awesome.
So you need to figure it out.
I'm looking forward to that.
Interested in this. Yeah. Okay, so we will cover a lot of protein functionality and also put some new ingredients in your formulating toolkit. So come to the class next week, follow the link to sign up for it, okay? All right, Mark, what do you have?
So I've done two basic hearth loaves. I've done here using the Irex spelt sourdough. I used it at the mid-range at 6% of the flour weight. Okay. And I also added spelt malt to this one here. Okay. And so on the outside, they look very similar. This one is slightly darker because this is also the spelt sourdough, but here I used the M38K, the toasted barley malt, the one that is sort of a dark brown color, right, and a real nice toasty flavor. So I'm gonna cut these open now so we can see how they look on the inside. So we're doing this live. Oh yeah. This looks lovely.
Wow, that's great technique.
So that's the spelt with the spelt sourdough with the spelt malt.
So how much?
So I got a couple of molding blisters there, but that's nice.
What is your percentage usage for the malt and the?
The malt is 2%, 2% of the flour weight, and the sourdough is 6% of the flour weight.
How's it taste? Do you taste the sour coming through at 6%?
I thought you would never ask.
Me? Not ask about eating delicious bread?
Right away. It's a nice sour.
Okay.
It's not one of these vinegar sours from the old days when there was all this stuff in the in-store bakeries that just tastes like vinegar and bread. It's a nice balance with the lactic acid. It's really good. It's really tasty.
That's great.
It's kind of a little bit nutty. Must be the spelt.
That's awesome. What else did you do?
It's a nice, very pleasant sour. I could see that could be really good with a rye bread too, like a 60, like a 40% light rye or something like that. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So that the toasted malt. So we can see this is quite a bit darker, the crumb. Okay. And I'll bring the other one up just to side by side so you can kind of see how much darker. A little bit hard on this webcam, but you can see
it is hard. Yeah, but I can see
the darker one. This is the lighter one here. Yeah. And of course, I have to learn how to do this backwards. There we go. And so we could see that. And this has a nice, that toasted aroma. Oh, this is so good. Oh.
Crunch. That looks so crunchy.
Nice crunchy crust.
So if any of you out there who are interested in getting a sample of this particular spelt sourdough and malt to make your breads, even pan breads, more flavorful, go to our sponsor showcase and Irex and contact Irex for a sample, all right? All these are amazing, delicious products. And as you can see, Mark is such a better baker than me, and he's able to make all these breads.
I have to get back on my bicycle if I keep eating so much bread.
Or you can try my diet.
Yeah, it's really the toasted malt is just it has sort of a hidden sweetness in the background, and not that it tastes sweet, but it's just like this little lingering bit as you swallow it, and so it gives it a nice nutty sort of flavor and just really more full-bodied, right, in a way, just by adding that 2% of toasted malt, the M38, along with the spelt sourdough. The sour is still there, and it just brings out this whole rounded, nutty, barley-like flavor. So it's kind of like beer in a sandwich almost, right? I mean, it's beautiful, right? You know, like one of those dark ale sort of things, right?
All right. Thank you, Cindy, for posting the links so that people can get samples off of here. So what is your advice for someone who is having problems at your bakery right now?
What type of problems? Well, actually, I mean,
it's like, how can they reach you?
oh,
Advice.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Please go to the forum. Post in the our Baker forum. Also, like as Lynn mentioned, sign up for the the high protein webinar, the Baker View coming up next week. That's going to be awesome. That's going to help give you a lot of clues, and that's also an opportunity to post some questions that are related at times and stuff too.
Right.
But yeah, in the forum, we continue to grow. I see members signing up every day lately. There looks like there was about 20 or so signed up yesterday.
We have
So and that means that there's more opportunity for more feedback with everything. And we have everything from bakers to food scientists to all kinds of people from all facets of the industry are joining in interested to share, interested to learn, and help each other, right? That's a great place. And tell us as much about your troubles as you can. The more you can share with us on the details, the faster and easier it is for us to fix your problem. And I had an inquiry on LinkedIn. I've asked the person to join us in the forum with it as well. Is to scaling up for short crust dough, and well, there's a lot of different ways to process short crust dough. So it really depends on the equipment. So share with us, the kind of equipment that you're going to be running on or are running it on, and that helps then to be able to tell you a little bit more or what has to be adjusted or how to process the best way. Because it makes a big difference when you're sheeting versus stamping, and whether you're heat stamping or cold stamping or extruding or all these different things, right?
Yeah. All right, so that's all we have time for today. Thank you all for joining us on Forum Friday. Catch us at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every week. And again, if you miss us during the week, come see us at the forums. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. See you in the forum, everybody.